The cost of living around the world, and certainly in Canada, is increasing. This is what we call inflation. Inflation is when your $1 today cannot buy the same amount of commodities as it could a year or so many years ago. And New Brunswick is certainly not an exception in this situation. Hello everyone, this is Ricey, and in this video, let's talk about the rising cost of living in New Brunswick. And if you want to have more videos such as this, please let me know in the comments below and by subscribing in this channel. According to Zumper, the cost of one-bedroom apartment here in Moncton increased by 11% as compared to 2021. 11% is equivalent to $100 a month. Right now, an average cost of a one-bedroom in Moncton is about $1,000. A three-bedroom apartment in Moncton will cost you $1,600 a month. This is a 24% increase this year as compared to last year, and 24% is equivalent to about $324 a month. Now, this is the only cost for the rent. We also have to add in the utilities and the cost to power and have electricity in our houses in New Brunswick has also increased. In St. John, it is even worse because they had an increase of 17% for a one-bedroom and 27% for a three-bedroom apartment. The salary in the province also increased though, but the salary increased by 17%. We are now sitting at $13.75 per hour here in New Brunswick. That is the minimum wage here in the province. So putting it into perspective, the increase of the salary is not nearly enough to cover the increase of the rent alone, and then you have to add in the utilities and water cost. You also have to add in insurance cost and all other costs of the commodities that we buy on a day-to-day basis. The cost of electricity and heating in New Brunswick increased by 2% this year. And so to put that into perspective again, if your normal or average monthly electricity cost is $200, that means it will increase to $204 a month. And then you have to add in all other costs involved in your day-to-day living. And guys, to add more bad news, it doesn't end there because carbon tax in the province also increased, and therefore carbon tax adds more dollar to the overall cost of our fuel. I actually mentioned in my last video that the province is experiencing a population boom. The population normally comes from international immigration or interprovincial immigration. And aside from population boom, there is also an immense growth of property investors. Now, there is a risk or danger when it comes to the property investors because these property investors come here to the province, they bid various properties, they actually over-ask or overbid properties, pay them in cash, and therefore the local population are left out of the market because the local population cannot compete with the cash-rich people from other provinces, thereby leaving the local population out of the property market. And the long-term effect is that the local population becomes renters for a long term to come. As a matter of fact, according to CREA, or the Canadian Real Estate Association, the cost of a home in New Brunswick increased at a higher rate than in Ontario. NB's cost of home increased by higher at 2%. Now, some of you may argue, well, yes, New Brunswick property cost increased faster or higher at a higher rate than in Ontario, but when it comes to dollar value, the value of properties in Ontario is still higher than in NB, and I certainly agree. But if we put that into perspective, the cost of taxation in Ontario is much less than our cost of taxation here. The salary or the minimum salary in Ontario is much higher than we have here in New Brunswick. As As a matter of fact, the total cost or taxation in Ontario is sitting at 13%, and in New Brunswick we are sitting at 15%. Our minimum wage here sits at $13.75 per hour, and that is even after the increase this year, and the minimum wage in Ontario is $15 an hour. So really guys, $1 here, $1 there, this can really add up to a hefty amount on per annum basis. But not all is bad news, guys. There is a good news. At the end of the horizon, the government of New Brunswick implemented a 3.8% rent cap on landlords, meaning existing or current renters can only have their rents increased by a maximum of 3.8%. But this is only applicable to existing renters, that's one, and this is only implemented this year. Next year, we do not know what will happen. Now, the situation that happens here is that landlords say or claim that renovations are required in a certain apartment, therefore obliging the renters to move out. And when the renters move out, the landlords can take in new renters and they can charge whatever amount of money or rent they want to charge, because the 3.8% cap is only applicable to existing renters, not to new renters. And this is a situation that you have to be aware of. If a landlord is obliging you and claiming that renovations need to be done in your apartment, you have to think and rethink that. And probably this is just an excuse that the landlord is saying just so that he could get another renter. And with the real estate market that we have right now, renters is just immense. It's not hard to find new renters. And if you are looking at buying a house, make sure to check this website, which is the online property assessment website of New Brunswick. In this website, you will be able to have more in-depth information about the details, historical details of the property. It's the taxation details, historical taxation details, assessment history of the property, and all the properties within that vicinity that had been recently sold, therefore giving you more in-depth details about the actual reality of the location of the property that you are looking at buying. And the last bit I think that I could recommend in order for you or for us to measure to the amount of inflation that we are experiencing is that if you're looking for a job, do not forget to negotiate your package. Your salary is always open for negotiation. You will never have anything if you will not ask for it. Always negotiate. Anything is open for negotiation if you are offered a job. Thank you very much indeed for watching this video. If you want more topics such as this video, let me know by commenting in the description box or in the comment box, and I'm certainly happy to exchange conversation with you.